everyone, welcome back to another edition of Cook! Don't be lazy. Several months back, my friend Meatball requested that I make a chicken and rice dish. It's taken me a few months, but I got you, Meatball, I got you. For those of you that are lazy, today's episode, Lazy Man's Chicken and Rice. Let's get to it. Alright, so I've got chicken thighs and drumsticks. We're going to season our chicken with some lemon pepper. We're going to kind of over season. There's a reason for it. Some Lowry seasoned salt. Some minced onion. This ain't coming out. Let me just throw a bunch in there like that. Some Sazon. Some pink Himalayan salt. By the way, one thing I forgot to mention is, first of all, rub in your seasoning into your chicken. But one thing I didn't mention earlier on is there's a term called washing your chicken. And what that means is to rinse off your chicken with water. I guess, I haven't really looked into it, but I'm assuming the reason you want to do that is to wash off any of the preservatives that might be in the packaging from the processing plant. So, wash your chicken. So I already did that with this. So just make sure you put in a good rubbing of the seasoning. After you're done, wash your hands. You don't want any cross-contamination. We are dealing with poultry here. Wash your hands before you start touching anything else. So chicken's pretty well seasoned. Let's move to the next step. So we're going to take a pound of long grain rice. We're going to wash our rice. So basically what washing the rice means is we're going to remove some of the possible dirt. Water's going to turn like a milky color. That's because it's removing also some of the starch from the rice. So what I'm going to do is just pour out the dirty water. If you do it slow, the rice won't fall out. So I'm going to do this about 4 or 5 times, fill it up, empty it out. About 5-6 times, and then the water will start to clear up. Just trying to loosen up any remnants. The water's pretty much clear. Not as clear, but it's pretty clear. You don't need to get it perfectly clear. Now this step isn't necessarily mandatory. You can skip this step if you want. Your rice might be a little clumpier if you skip this step, but it still works. Get yourself a deep dish, oven safe, obviously. I like using my Pyrex glass dish here. Preheat your oven, 350. Always preheat your oven. So set your rice down. Spread it around your dish evenly. We're going to take our seasoned chicken. And I thought I had room for more chicken, but apparently I don't. Take some kidney beans. Drain it. You don't want the juice. Drain it. And I just figured, you know what? Let me reorganize this. I'm gonna find a way to get my chicken in here. More chicken, I should say. There we go. There's always a way. Next up, chicken broth. Try not to get it directly on the chicken, so that way the seasoning doesn't pour off the chicken. And we want enough chicken broth to reach the chicken, but not submerge the chicken. At least not entirely. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Actually, before we get it in the oven, I almost forgot, we need about half a stick of butter. Do it in slices. And spread it out. And this is the last ingredient before we go into the oven. Alright, oven time. So this recipe is so cheap and easy that I'm actually making a total of 3 trays. One's going to be for my mama, one for my neighbor, and one for my good friends over at Dunn Signs off Lake Worth Road. I promised them I'd make them a dish. So finally, you guys are going to get it. You don't know it yet, but it's coming. So preheat your oven, 350. Tray number 1. Tray number 2. We're going to let this bake for about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. Somewhere in that ballpark figure, all depending on the thickness of our chicken. How much rice we're actually using. But about the hour mark, I'm going to start looking into it. So we're at the 1 hour and 10 minute mark. This is looking excellent. Let me give you guys a close-up on this. Lazy man's chicken and rice. Doesn't get any easier than this. Hit the subscribe button. I put out a video every single week for you guys. Hoping to inspire you to get up off the couch into the kitchen. So until next week, cook! Don't be lazy!